what's up guys, I'm back. What's today's video going to be about? What's today's, where is this dog? You already know. This guy's sleeping, look at him. Dexter, come on bro. We're doing a new video and this is what you're doing? Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Not going to say what up? People watch these videos for you, buddy. For you. They watch these for you, for these big guard dog teeth. What are we doing? Big breaks? Yeah, man. We're doing a big break kit today. This is probably going to be a multi-part video because, let's see, I got the stuff in the mail. We got to do an unboxing. We have to see how stuff looks. Put on my hat because it's blistering sunny outside. The main reason... Oh, now you're getting up, bro? Come on. Come on. There you go. You know we're doing that video. Boom. So, the main reason we're doing this big break kit is because little Betsy here got herself a new pair of shoes. I should have probably done a video about these, but I didn't because there was an impulse buy by the register. And as you can see, they are very open, and you can see just how small those stock brakes are. So we had to go and get a big brake kit. When I am installing this and all the wheels are off, I'm gonna probably pause and do a separate video about the specs of the wheels and tires and compare them and weigh them as compared to the stock wheels, because I'm sure some people are probably curious about that. Let's open this garage up. Yeah, it's like 100 degrees outside right now. The weather here in New York has been weird. What's changed since the last video? I put up a new shed so the girlfriend can have her gardening stuff closer to her garden, but you know how that goes. I just keep tires in here. I got my A-Spec wheels in here, I got my winter Civic wheels in here, so I'm on the verge of thinking about selling these guys, but I might just keep them as a winter set. So we'll see how it goes. I'm gonna have to pull them back out of there and do a weight comparison with these wheels, but we'll see how that goes. I'm not installing these brakes today. I'm still trying to source some parts, like some more brake fluid and a couple of other things, but I figure it's a nice day to start this video up. So let's get it going. First things first, I got these new lug nuts. This was a pretty penny here. I spent a lot more than I should have on lug nuts. These come in 4-packs. So Megard is the company that makes OEM locks for Honda. As you can see, these are OEM, these are Megard. Packaging looks freakishly similar, doesn't it? Anyhow, I went and got black lugs, black locks, and the reason I can't use my factory ones because I also spend a ton of money on these straight from Honda or straight from Acura. These are OEM black lugs, OEM black locks, same as these guys. However, these have a ball seat and these have a cone seat, and aftermarket wheels have a cone seat. So I had to literally spend a ton of money again. And I was able to find OEM manufacturer. I think it even, oh yeah, right there. OEM USA, baby. Yeah, this, I don't recall how much they cost. I think this set was like 50 bucks and these were like 30 bucks each box. So do the math. It's not a good number, but it's going to be worth it because I'll tell you why it's worth it. So the shop that I got these wheels and tires from gave me a package deal. They threw on the wheels for me and they gave me these tuner locks. And if I don't know if the camera's picking this up, but there's already rust on the splines. I'm not a big fan of spline locks, so those gotta go. They basically got me home from the shop, and I've been driving around for about a week or two. Anyway, I'd rather have them as OEM as possible, or OEM. So let's get to the good stuff. All right, so big brake kit comes in 2 boxes, just like this, but it was actually 1 box. Well, I should say these 2 boxes were wrapped in another piece of cardboard, and it was all wrapped together to make it seem like 1 box. Pretty heavy. First box is, I really need a bigger table. Dagnabbit, how do I get to this thing? So everything's packaged pretty well. My first impressions, move these guys out of the way a little bit. Yeah, everything is packaged pretty well. Even like the rotor has come in these pre-cut foam things for shipping, which is impressive. Massive rotor, 2-piece rotor, 14-inch diameter. Stuck in this foam. Stuck in another piece of foam. Lifting with my left hand, but I'm barely lifting it. It's a heavy piece, but I think the weight of this rotor will be offset by the weight savings we're going to get from the calipers. Where do I put this tripod? Put this here. So rotors are not that important for this unboxing, I guess. So I'm just going to package this back up. I'm going to move them to the side. Also, while I'm at it, I decided to do, before I get to the good stuff, I decided to do rear rotors, and I really don't need them. My rear brakes are still at, even at 50,000 miles on the car now. All my brakes, all 4 corners, look surprisingly great. But here's the problem. Well, I should go back out here. Not only will my red calipers stand out very nicely in the front, but not only are these not going to match because they're silver, but the rotors have these silver hats on them, and I can't live with that. So I got new rear rotors that come with these in black because I'm too lazy to paint them, and I'm going to paint the rear calipers red myself. So hopefully that'll be a nice touch, and everything will match all around. I didn't go crazy. I got these on Rock Auto, fairly cheap. Rotors were like around 40 bucks a pop. They're made by Wagner. They come, as you can see, with a black center, which is nice. And these guys were, I think, like 45 bucks. They are ceramic pads made by Akebono, OEM technology, yada yada. Pretty decent stuff. So I really don't need new rear brakes, but for peace of mind, I will know that my brakes are brand new on all 4 corners, all at the same time. So that's cool. Let's get to this guy. All right, these also came packaged pretty well. Now, my initial impressions. Function work, license plate frame. Sorry guys, definitely not going to use that. I'm not a big fan of free advertising. Got some stickers. Don't care for stickers much. Hardware, looks like it's zinc plated, looks pretty nice. My issue here, this set came with 2 brake lines. Why didn't it just come with 4 brake lines? So I'm gonna have stainless brake lines in the front and rubber brake lines in the rear. I mean, make it make sense. You can also go on their website and buy a kit of brake lines. Like if you want to just upgrade your brake lines, if you have a completely factory braking system but you want stainless steel lines, you can buy a pack of front and rear brake lines. There's no option for just rear brake lines, which is why it puzzles me why they wouldn't just give you a set of 4 when you're spending thousands of dollars on a big break-in. I mean, any sensible person would want to install 4 stainless brake lines, right? Is it just me? I reached out to Function and they told me that they can sell me a set of rear lines, and it has to be a special order. It's going to take a couple of weeks. I mean, I just said fine. Order them for me. Great. Wonderful. Now I have to wait longer for you know, I got all these fancy parts here and I can't install them because now I'm waiting for 2 more brake lines. Solid hangers. This is like a good 3 pounds. So I'm very happy with how the machining on these brackets looks. I don't know if they spelled RDX wrong, or if this is just a coincidental part number, but it says DRX. That's pretty entertaining. And then when you take this off, some nice packaging here with cutout foam. And the rotors come wrapped up. Sorry, I said rotors, I meant calipers. They come wrapped up in some paper. They come wrapped up in some nice soft foam. And there we have it. I'm not gonna lie. This is very nice, this engraved function work. However, I was really hoping that it would just be printed on so I can somehow erase it, because like I said, I'm not a big fan of advertising for random companies, but it is what it is. Very light caliper. It's about twice or 3 times the size of the factory caliper, and I would say half the weight, which is nice. It comes preloaded with brake pads, 2 bleeder screws. Issue number 2. So issue number 1 was the brake lines. Issue number 2, I don't know what these brake pads are, right? I try to pull them back a little bit. If you can see in there, it just says DDI brake. I mean, if you don't care about your brake pads or knowing what they are, who makes them, or what they're made from, great, slap them on, send it. But I mean, call me crazy, but I kind of want to know what kind of pads these are and what to expect. Are they going to be noisy? Are they going to be grippy? Are they going to suck? I don't know. I don't know who makes them. So you can get replacement pads on FunctionWorks website. They're like $130, which is decent. But at that price point, I'm assuming they're not the greatest pads. Or maybe they are. Who knows? I don't know. Anyhow, my other little quirk here is I wanted to know who makes these, because there's very minimal information on Function's website about what these are, who makes them. I mean, I was almost 1,000% positive that FunctionWorks themselves do not make calipers, because that would just be crazy. If you guys know anything about the world of manufacturing, you know, companies that make car parts often outsource a lot of stuff. So right out the box, I grab this guy and I go, start looking around. What do I see here? A little stamp that says DDI. So instantly, I start digging around on the interwebs. DDI, so I started searching DDI brakes, DDI calipers, you know, all the keywords that I can think of. And what I found out was DDI is a company in Taiwan. So at first impression, I'm like, that doesn't sound great. Do I want things from Taiwan on my daily driven car? And I started digging around some more, and I found out that DDI is another name for a company called, what are they called? Fang Li. So I found Fang Li's website. Fang Li is a manufacturer of brakes for resale. So they sell to OEM, which means you know, a car company like say Toyota says, oh, we need calipers.
Toyota doesn't make their own calipers. I'm using this as a hypothetical example. Could be Honda, could be Nissan, whatever. They don't make their own calipers, so they find a company who makes calipers and they outsource all of their calipers to that company. And there are several companies that do stuff like this. So Fang Li makes calipers and brake parts for OEM manufacturers as well as racing companies such as Function Work. So Function Work basically paid Fang Li to make them a set of calipers for a specific application. In this case, they made the Cord and RDX caliper. They made this bracket to pair this caliper onto that car, and you know they engrave their name into it and yada yada. Now Function Work sells it as their own. You guys follow me so far? Okay, so the only thing that's letting me rest easily right now is the fact that Fang Li makes AP Racing calipers, and AP Racing is a name that I've heard of. It's a pretty well-known name in the racing industry. So being that they have some sort of a name, I'm a little bit happier. It's not just some random Taiwanese brakes that I'm slapping onto my car and praying for the best. So there is going to be a good amount of quality involved. Let me go inside now. And this was the other interesting thing. So I started comparing on the websites. Close this up. So I started comparing on Fang Li's website and Function Works website to see if I can find the exact caliper, and I actually did, which is pretty cool. Function Work is going to be watching this video thinking like, what is up with this guy? Why does he need to know everything? So check this out. Give me a second here, let my computer launch up. Okay, so here's Function Works website. This is the caliper. You guys can all buy this kit. It used to cost $23.80. I bought it on sale for $20,023. I did not buy directly from Function Work. I bought this from Action. Action gives you free shipping for orders over $250. So I saved a ton of shipping by ordering it from these guys. So there you go. If you guys want to buy these brakes, you can get them from Action. Anyhow, back to this. Here's the caliper. It also comes in black. Here it is. They even show you a picture of it on an RDX, which is cool. So it fits the factory wheels. Over here it says 18-inch wheel or larger is required. Factory wheels require spacers. So I'm not sure if factory A-spec wheels require spacers or not because they're 20 inches. But the wheels I have a 10 millimeter offset difference. So factory A-spec wheels have a ET50 offset, and my aftermarket wheels have a 40 offset. So it means that they stick out of the car 10 millimeters more than factory wheels. So I'm hoping that these suckers bolt right on and the wheel clears them without spacers. I'm hoping. Anyhow, back to this. Here is Fang Li's website. DDI brake. This is literally, I'm going to zoom in on this guy, the same exact caliper. You guys see this little indentation, and this, and here's your little indentation. It is the exact caliper. Now, this freaked me out at first because I went straight to scooping out info on the internet before I even opened the boxes, and this right here freaked me out. Acura RDX 6-pot, right? It says 6-pot, which means there are six pistons in here, 3 on each side. When you go here, it says 4-piston brake kit.
and the caliper is identical. So I was like, oh my God, what is going on? Did these guys just fudge this? Is this really a 4-piston caliper? Even if you look at it from the top angle, you could see the metal indentations. There's 2 barrels here, 2 barrels here. So I'm like, holy crap. Like, I was so disappointed because I'm expecting a 6-piston caliper. Everything says 6-pot, 6-piston. And then I go over here on the manufacturer's website and it says 4 pistons. So I'm like, did I just get ripped off? Like, is this, you know, what's going on here? But sure enough, I went and I pulled back the brake pads. It's the same body, but it has 6 pistons inside of it. So I'm not sure where these guys changed it up, but if you're getting it directly from them, this is probably a smaller size caliper than they usually sell. So I'm going to go to products, and they sell all sorts of different sizes, right? You can see their AP Racing calipers there. They have a bunch of those. Yeah, there's just tons and tons of different calipers. Some of these are huge. You know, some of them have 4, some of them have 6, some of them have 8 pistons, whatever. Like, they have a ton of different variety. Point is, where is it? Yeah, so they managed to take this body and cram 6 pistons into a caliper where they usually use 4 pistons. And this is your final result. And what they did was they took off their name and engraved the function work name. Now on this website, this might be an older model, but here, this looks like it's printed on. If you zoom in on your screen, it looks like it's printed on. So I was like, oh, sweet. I could probably like rubbing alcohol it off or put a sticker on top of it or something. But then when it came in the mail, I was like, it's engraved. So I guess I'm going to have to leave it. Whatever. What are you going to do? So that's that. That is my unboxing. Those are my initial impressions. And once I gather the other 2 stainless lines and a couple of more bottles of brake fluid, I will be using VP Racing DOT4 brake fluid for this. That's another thing. Nowhere on either website does it say, or inside the box, does it say what kind of brake fluid these calipers call for. So I'm just gonna go ahead and use DOT4 fluid, because usually with, you know, 4 or more piston calipers, they're more than likely to use DOT4. I like VP Racing. I've used it in my Civic. It holds up pretty well. As long as you do your maintenance all the time, it's fine. It has a pretty high boiling point. Yeah, so stainless lines and new fluid, and then we'll go back to video part 2, which is probably going to be the wheel video, where I'm going to compare and contrast the old wheels and the new wheels and do a test fit of the calipers before I break open the brake lines, just to make sure that the wheel fits on over the caliper. And then video 3, yeah, this is probably going to be a 3-part video. You guys know how I roll. I make really long videos for no good reason, because I need to express all my opinions, so it'll save somebody else the headache down the road. Yeah. So video 3 will be the install of the actual calipers and my initial impressions of how they look, how they feel when driving, yada yada, and stay tuned. Like, share, subscribe, follow, yada yada, blah blah blah. Okay, bye. Hey, I'm back. So I'm doing a preliminary test fit. I figure before I dedicate a whole day to doing the brake job,
I should probably do a test fit to make sure that the brakes clear the wheels, because if I plan ahead and sacrifice a whole day to do my brakes and then I go to put them on and they don't clear the wheels, I would have wasted a day. So right off the bat, I'm going to tell you that if you guys haven't done brake jobs before, sometimes it goes well, sometimes it goes not so well. But these little rotor set screws, this guy gave me a real fun time. Number 3 Phillips bit. I even did it the old-fashioned way, with a handheld impact screwdriver. I ended up breaking the bit inside of the screw. Blew through a whole bunch of other ones also. Started drilling it. I got a little extractor kit, one of these guys from Milwaukee. So the point is you drill in reverse a little bit, then you flip it and you extract it in reverse. The extractor, this is super hardened metal, the extractor broke inside of the screw. Let's just say this was not fun getting it out. I had to use, if you see the edges jagged, so once the extractor is stuck in there, you can no longer take a drill bit and drill it out, because you can't drill through this material. So that was stupid. I got a handful of brand new screws because I already knew this was going to happen. So I took a 3-pound mallet and a chisel and started chiseling it away and soaking it in WD-40, and I got it to spin and I got it out. So it wasn't so bad, but just be prepared for these to give you a really bad time. Anyhow, getting off topic. Let's take a look at the size difference from the top. That is a drastically larger sized rotor than the stock one. So if we go and flip it over and place them top to top, it's a good sized rotor. So let me now set up this guy here. This is probably the rotor for the other side, but it doesn't matter. I'm just test fitting it. Set screw hole goes here. Okay, so right off the bat, this rams right into the heat shield, into the... Okay. This rams right into the dust shield. So cool. We have to bend this dust shield back a good amount. Just what I wanted to do. I think this top part is the part that protrudes the most. This won't really have to be bent, but this top part, I'm just gonna try to bend it nice and easy, nice and evenly, because you don't want it rubbing against the rotor. Almost there. Almost there. Oh, so before I go forward, what I wanted to show you, I took off the caliper and I didn't break the line because we don't want to make a mess of brake fluid, so I just rested it. You don't want this to drag and put tension on the line, so prop it up on something so it doesn't hang there. And I also took off the ABS sensor, so we can tuck that stuff back there while we reassemble this and then put the wheel back on to see if everything fits clearly. And once Once the wheel goes on and we verify that there's clearance, we can put everything back together and schedule a day for a full install. I don't want to scratch this paint. Make sure to use protective gear, guys. Brake parts are dirty. They have all sorts of chemicals and asbestos. And worst of all, there's a lot of sharp parts, so you don't want to have all that dirt all over your hands and then cut yourself, and then that goes inside of your bloodstream, and then you die. So it's been, this part right here is protruding the most, so I'm going to try to bend that back a little bit more. Still touching a little bit. I'm not going to go crazy because, like I said, this is a test fit. I'm not going to drive it. Let's put that set screw back in. And now it won't reach because it wants to be difficult. Great. So these little set screws I got are a little shorter than the original ones because they're from AutoZone, and they don't reach the thread. Okay, got it to reach the thread, just ever so gently. Oh, fell off, never mind. Okay, that pesky little set screw was annoying, but fortunately in my box of old junk I found an old one in good condition, so I'm not using the AutoZone ones, but surprise, surprise, look at what we have here. That looks beautiful. I'm pretty happy with that. There is a ton of clearance. You can literally shove your hand through here. However, the myth is true. These guys did not go on. So with the stock wheel about halfway onto the lug, the spokes were already touching the caliper. I probably should have put a rag or some tape on here, but I was very careful. However, I will say those are extremely heavy. So for me, I should have filmed it, but I forgot to press play because I got frustrated with that stupid little screw on the rotor. And then by the time I put everything back together, I was like, oh crap, I'm not filming. Anyway, so those wheels are significantly heavier than these guys. And these also have a larger tire, so that goes to show. And I don't know what good my little home scale is gonna do, but it might not give an accurate reading, but I'm about to do a weight comparison of these guys versus these guys. So let's see how this goes. Okay, here we go. 63 pounds on the dot. Wow, no wonder this is really hard to pick up. 63 pounds. Okay, now
here. Why won't this tripod cooperate ever? Okay. I only put these on loosely with 2 lugs. Those are a world easier to remove than the stock wheels. Okay, here we go again. What did I say they were? 63 pounds? I already forgot. Let's see these guys. Uh, 57 pounds. I don't know, it feels a lot lighter. Like when I grab them, when I grab these guys like this is so much easier to lift than that one. But that's what the scale says. 57 pounds versus 63, was it? Yeah. All right. So there you have it. If you have stock A-spec wheels, they do not clear. Now those are the A-spec advanced wheels. It might be different with the regular A-spec wheels. I don't know. But I will tell you for sure that those do not work. Well, these do not work. You will need some sort of spacer here. And these work wonderfully. These are NK wheels, so I'll give you some specs on these guys. Right, this factory wheel is 20 by 8, also made by NK, I don't know how to say it, and they have a, where is it, and a 50 ET50 offset. These Nikes are 20 by 8.5 with a 40 offset. It says inset, whatever. So that 10 millimeter difference is a very drastic jump in terms of making the wheel clear the caliper. And the tires I got here, if you are interested, are Continental Extreme Contact. Here's the model number, DWS06 Plus. They are 265/45/20, and these guys are 255/45/20. So what that means is I got a little bit more meat right here since they're wider. This 45, if you guys don't know how to read tire sizes, the first number, I'm going to give you a little lesson here. First number is the width of the tire. So this 265 means this is 265 millimeters wide. And the second number, a lot of people think this is the thickness of this, but it's not a measurement of the thickness, it's a measurement in a ratio. So this is 45% of 265, whereas this is also a 245, but it's 45% of the 255. So even though the 45 is the same, the sidewall is actually taller. Get what I'm saying? And that's that. I'm gonna go and put this back to the stock setup. As you can see, my caliper is still dangling there. And then I will pick another day, maybe a little cooler day, to do the full install. As soon as my other two brake lines come in, and I should get, this is what I'm going to be using, VP Racing 622. I'm going to pick up another 1 or 2 bottles of this, because this probably won't be enough to bleed the whole system. So stay tuned for the next video. Okay, bye.